What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so shout out to the brother Jesse Gladsaget for sending this to me, because I wouldn't have probably seen this. So Charles Barkley recently appeared on Bill Simmons' podcast, and while they talked for an extended period of time, I think like an hour and a half about various subjects, the subject matter I want to focus on are two topics that he covered. One is the ridiculous load management culture that has permeated the NBA for about a decade now. And it's gotten worse. And he predicts it's going to get even worse with the new TV deal. And these guys are going to make even more money, going to find even more excuses not to play, despite the NBA trying to incentivize playing. And he went in on the Lemedia narrative about how Anthony Davis and LeBron James are somehow still collectively one of the top two duos in the NBA. He debunked that as well. But this is what he had to say about load management. All right. And it's funny as hell.
It's crazy.
The worst aspect of it to me, and you know what's going to happen, it's already happening now with guys making 30, 40 million. When we have guys making $90 million and they're load managing, you think the regular fan gonna be having that shit? Hell no.
It's already happening.
I know, but like I say, that really concerns me going forward. Number one, I hate load management. Hey, listen, I'm pretty sure doctors and nurses and firemen and policemen, they don't want to work 7 days a week sometimes.
Yeah.
To play basketball 3 or 4 days a week is not a lot to ask anybody. And I don't want to hear about the numbers. These guys who paid all the dues before me played in crappy shoes, flew commercial,
right?
Didn't have the best medical shit. We got guys sleeping in chambers now, Bill.
Right.
Hey, I know about 15 NBA players who got bought like a hyperbaric chamber.
Right.
I was like,
and they have chefs.
They got chefs
they have
and
all
everything.
kinds of shit.
And then these guys are like, yeah, I can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, but it's got to get worse when guys start making more money when the new TV deal kicks in.
Well, I have somehow I still have the Clippers tickets, and they traded Paul George, who was the one guy who actually was playing. And now it's a team built around Kawhi and James Harden, and it's like, hey, should I go to the Clipper game Wednesday night? Now I got to check. Are those guys going to play? Oh, they're both playing tonight.
Yeah,
it's like, I would fucking hope so.
Yeah, that drives me crazy, man, because it's disrespectful to the game, first and foremost, and it's really disrespectful to the fans. I mean, come on, man. If you're going to, listen, God bless all these guys for making $40, $50 million, but come on, you got to play basketball. And listen, once the season starts, something always hurts.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up, rub some, I take Shaq, rub some icing hot on it, and go play. Everything hurts. I mean, I tell people, man, I always felt bad. I try not to ever miss a game. I took so many shots of Toradol in my ass. That horse shit? DMSO that's made for horses.
You took that?
Oh yeah, man. I wanted to play. I have an obligation to the teammates and to the fans. Oh yeah, it made your breath smell like shit, dude. Let me tell you something. There was times I could barely walk. When I got that DMSO, I was like, can I run a marathon? Like, it was unbelievable. But between that and Toradol, I'm trying to think. I think that was the stuff I took the most. But I didn't care. I'm not worried about the future, number one. My teammates mean a lot to me. I always want to play. I'm not going to sit over there and cheer them on just because I'm a little sore. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, so
he went in on that. Like I've said this before. Remember I told you about the Willis Reed story? He took probably a similar shot. He took a shot that they give horses. You know what I'm saying? Like the stakes was too high. Maybe if that was regular season, yeah, he wouldn't have played. Absolutely. You couldn't blame him for that. But the playoffs and then the finals and then a pivotal final game 6 and game 7. He didn't play in game 6, but game 7, he did whatever he could to get out in the goddamn court. So yeah, it does bother us knowing the heroics of some of these so-called plumbers and janitors, according to these stupid ass fucks out there today. If they can go the extra mile to be out there for teammates, yeah, Zion Williams can do the same thing. Instead of running around 30 pounds overweight and getting a hamstring pull and then quitting. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all just from different eras. Maybe it's an era thing. When I was growing up, man, these guys were like heroes, man. These guys limped out there and played hurt. Made you feel bad if you didn't go to school because you had the sniffles. We couldn't really relate because we weren't working or nothing like that back then. We felt bad about that. You know what I'm saying? But today is all about really conning, getting as much as you can with as little effort as possible. But he also went in, trying to find it right now. He also went in on he also went in on LeBron and AD and the fake Lemedia narrative that somehow these guys, are still a top duo. And he debunked, the tournament and all of this stuff, man, all of the ways the NBA tries to help these guys get in the playoffs.
Who else have 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA?
I mean, some people would say the Lakers.
No, well, listen.
I think the difference is...
Hey, let me tell you something. Go back to our original conversation. That's TV talk.
Right.
Because no other top 10 players in the top 10 going to be in the play-in bullshit, okay?
Right.
Let's just think about that.
The playoffs.
Let me tell you something. The play-in has been great for the NBA, but it's not even a real thing. So don't tell me they got 2 of the top 10 players in an imaginary playoffs. I mean, they wouldn't have made the playoffs if we didn't add teams to the playoffs. Right. So I don't really want to hear that. Those actions that have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we all been saying it. Like the NBA had to add extra tiers to the playoffs to get guys in the playoffs or teams in the playoffs that weren't good enough to go to the playoffs in the old format. What type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? That means like just trying to think. That means like back in the 90s, the way the playoff format is now, we would have seen, teams like Vin Baker and Glenn Robinson in the playoffs with 39 and 43 records or 34 and 48 records. We would have seen the mediocrities get a chance to snip the postseason when they didn't deserve it. We would have seen, in the West, well, I won't say Miss Richmond the Kings. They was pretty awful most of the time. But hell, maybe one of them years they went 35 and 47. You would have seen them go to the playoffs. They didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? It should be a standard, man. It should have stayed the way it was. The top 8 teams in the West and the top 8 teams in the East go to playoffs. And it should still be that way. I don't have a problem with them expanding it to a best of 7 in the first round, whatever. But the added tiers and then the fake playoff tournament that don't really count in the regular season, I don't celebrate. I ain't even do a video about that. Who the hell? You know that you just a participation trophy junkie when you know who demanded that they put that banner, went to Jenny Buss and demanded, probably gave her the D, and she put a banner up there to insult those other legitimate championships outside that bubble one that's hanging from the Raptors. You got that bullshit hanging next to them. making a mockery of the Lakers franchise. Anyway, salute to Charles Barkley on this one. Tell me what you guys think.